Frontline Updates, where we delve deep into military strategies and updates from conflict zones. Today, we're discussing the progress of the ongoing special military operation as of April 4th, 2025. I'm your host, Sharifa Muhammad MGT.
I'm Colonel A.C. Ogintoy, an infantry officer. Substantial losses to Ukrainian forces. Over the week, the Ukrainian forces suffered significant personnel and equipment losses, including over 1,910 servicemen, 4 tanks, and numerous vehicles and artillery pieces in the north, over 1,505 servicemen, and extensive losses of armored vehicles in the west, and further heavy losses in the south and center, including the destruction of key armored vehicles and artillery.
Welcome to Frontline Updates, your trusted source for the latest developments on security and defense operations involving military forces. I'm your host, and today we have an exclusive interview with Colonel A.C. Ogintoy, who will provide insights into the progress of the special military operation as of April 4th, 2025. Colonel Ogintoy, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Colonel, let's begin with the air and drone strikes reported this past week. What were the primary objectives and outcomes?
Between March 29th and April 4th, our forces conducted 7 coordinated strikes using high-precision weapons and attack drones. The targets included military airfield infrastructure, a Ukrainian rocket and space industry enterprise, command centers, drone assembly sites, and storage facilities. We also targeted ammunition depots, explosive production sites, and temporary deployment points for Ukrainian security forces, armed forces, and foreign mercenaries.
Would you say the strikes were successful in degrading Ukraine's operational capacity?
Yes, absolutely. These strikes significantly disrupted Ukraine's drone warfare capabilities and reduced their ability to coordinate frontline operations. The impact on ammunition logistics and communications has been particularly effective.
Let's shift to ground operations. Can you brief us on what happened in the Kursk and northern regions?
Of course. Our North Group of forces continued their offensive in the Kursk region, using airstrikes, artillery, and drones to strike Ukrainian mechanized units and airborne assault brigades. Over 1,900 enemy personnel were eliminated in this axis, along with multiple tanks, armored vehicles, artillery pieces, and electronic warfare stations.
And what about the border areas, Belgorod and Kharkov?
In those directions, we engaged and defeated elements of several mechanized, motorized, and assault brigades. Notably, we also neutralized marine and unmanned systems units. It was a strong blow to their attempt to stabilize the border zones.
Colonel, what can you tell us about operations on the Western Front?
Our West Group forces improved their tactical positions and struck multiple enemy brigades, including mechanized and assault units, as well as a border detachment. They suffered over 1,500 casualties. Notably, we destroyed U.S.-made M113 armored vehicles and eliminated a significant number of artillery and electronic warfare assets.
Was there any territorial gain on that front?
The gains were tactical in nature, rather than territorial. The objective was to disorganize and degrade their ability to counter further advances.
Now the South, always a focal point. What occurred there?
In the Donetsk People's Republic, our southern group liberated the settlements of Pantelimonavka and Rozovka. These were hard-fought battles. We engaged and defeated a broad range of Ukrainian units, mechanized, ranger, mountain assault, and even special forces like Azov and the National Police's Lyad Brigade. Ukrainian losses in the south were close to 2,000 troops, alongside dozens of armored vehicles and artillery systems.
Let's move to the Central Front. I understand some strategic settlements were liberated?
Yes, that's correct. The center group of forces liberated Zaporizhia and Uspianovka. In doing so, we inflicted heavy damage on over a dozen Ukrainian brigades, including airborne, marine, and special forces units like Omega. Over 3,150 enemy servicemen were lost in that sector. We also took out several Western supplied systems, including German Leopard tanks, French VAB carriers, and U.S. Humvees and M113s.
That's one of the largest casualty figures we've heard. What explains the scale?
It was a concentrated strike with layered artillery and maneuver tactics, supported by real-time drone reconnaissance. The enemy was not prepared for the speed and coordination of our advance.
How about the East? What's the current status?
In the east, we liberated Razlev and Veseloy. Ukrainian forces suffered close to 1,000 casualties. We eliminated tanks, artillery, including Polish-made Crab units, and advanced deeper into their defensive lines.
Were there any developments along the Dnepr or Zaporizhia front?
Yes. Our Dnieper group liberated the settlements of Sherbaki and Lobkovo. We dealt a blow to Ukrainian mountain and coastal defense brigades. Over 430 enemy personnel were lost, along with electronic warfare stations, armored vehicles, and key supply depots.
There was also mention of a drone strike that affected civilians?
Yes, unfortunately, an FPV drone attack by Ukrainian forces hit an electrical substation in Vasilivsky, leaving about 9,000 people without power. It underscores the hybrid nature of this war. Military and civilian targets are increasingly blurred.
Let's talk about air defense. How did Russian systems perform this week?
Exceptionally well. We intercepted 15 JDAM-guided bombs, 4 MRS rockets, 1 Urigan missile, and nearly 900 UAVs. We also neutralized drones flying toward Moscow and in the Tula, Rostov, and Lipetsk regions.
What's the situation on the ground as of this morning? And any new developments on the Zaporizhia front?
There's ongoing fighting in Kursk near Gavo and Sumy near Basovka. In Belgorod, Ukrainian forces continue probing attempts near Demidovka and Popovka. We've had to repel several pushes through forest belts. In the Donetsk region, we're seeing advances toward Alexeyevka and have engaged enemy forces near Andriivka, where our troops gained about 3 kilometers. In South Donetsk, we've also pushed deeper toward Volnoy Pol and Bogodar. And yes, intensity has increased near Lobkovo and Kamenskoye. Our forces are pressing the front lines and trying to push Ukrainian troops back beyond the water barrier. Paratroopers and motorized riflemen are actively engaged there.
Colonel, thank you for providing such a detailed briefing on the current military situation. Your insights are invaluable to our understanding of the conflict's dynamics. And thank you to our listeners for tuning in. Join us next time as we continue to provide up-to-date coverage on global military affairs. Stay with us for more updates and expert analyses on global defense and security issues. Stay informed, stay secure.
Thank you. Today, in the Bryansk region, drones struck the border settlement of Belaya Berezka. 2 civilians were wounded. Sadly, one of them died in hospital. Property damage was also reported.